Alright, hey you guys, it is TsubakiSwagg, and I'm coming to you with my review. Oh my goodness, I don't remember the last time I did a review of anything. I'm coming to you guys with my review of, review slash first impressions of My Hero Academia, which at first I kind of didn't want to review it because parts that I had seen or parts that I was shown of the show was really stupid, but I have to admit the show is actually pretty freaking awesome, which, by the way, because I stopped mid-season on a lot of shows, so yeah, I'm going to do a lot of like final thoughts or impressions and like kind of wrap up my thoughts on all the shows that I was reviewing and do some like overall impressions of shows from last season, which I watched a lot of stuff and I read a lot of stuff too. I just didn't review anything because I had a lot of stuff going on. Things are finally starting to calm down now, and like I mentioned in my nerd block unboxing, I had a lot of things going on with like finally getting everything straight, being like the assistant manager at the store that I work at now, and a lot of other things that I'm finally able to get back to what I love doing, which is reviewing and talking to you guys and like drawing pictures, being creative, like doing what I love to do on my YouTube channel. And hopefully things will be able to get back to where they were. So yeah. So like I said, today I'm going to be doing my first impression slash review of My Hero Academia, which is actually a really freaking awesome show. Like I went into watching it like this show is really stupid. I'm not gonna like this show, which I need to stop doing because there have been quite a few shows that I said were really freaking stupid, but actually ended up being awesome. Like even though I hate to admit it, Prison School is probably the first one that comes to mind. Then it's like Lovely Muko, Senyu, like even Fairy Tail was so, like it took so much effort for me to get through Fairy Tail to actually get to where it's at now, where it's actually getting good. So there's that. But this show, my first thoughts on this show, like from like first seeing it and everything, my first thoughts was like thinking about like the way I see it is kind of like with One Punch Man, the show One Punch Man that came out like a season, like 2 seasons ago. Was it 2 seasons ago? Came out, and we see the story from like Saitama's point of view, where he's like this freaking strong, like superhumanly strong person who literally can destroy someone with one punch, but he was normal, or he started off normal, and he became this freaking amazing person. And in a way, this show, My Hero Academia, reminds me of that, but kind of like is more like the main character, Izuku, is kind of like Moomin Rider. Reminds me of Moomin Rider, how Moomin Rider, even though he's really not like super strong, he doesn't have any type of power or anything, he still wants to be an amazing hero. He still wants to help people. He still wants to put forth the effort that most people don't want to help others, which is amazing. So Izuku reminds me of Moomin Rider in that way. But in this show, from what I can tell from the 4 episodes that have come out, Izuku, he is not the strongest person. He actually does not have a quirk. He's one in a million person in the world now that's quirkless. And like there's this boy that's been picking on him since he was a little kid, and he thrives to be in UA, which is like a superhero school, high school, that I guess you go through to train or whatever. They train you to be an amazing hero. All of the amazing heroes that are in the world now graduated from that high school, which brings you to All Might, because All Might is Izuku's favorite superhero, like hands down. Been his favorite since he was a little kid, since he was about 4 years old when he found out that he was quirkless and he wasn't going to have a superpower. All Might has been his favorite superhero since then. He's been studying all these superheroes to be, so he could one day be a superhero, which it messed him up because like when he went to the doctor when he was around 4, the doctor told him that he should give up on being a superhero because he's not going to have a quirk, which really freaking sucks. I mean, he could have given him some type of hope or something. And then after that, like talking to his mom pretty much told him the same thing. That wasn't what he wanted to hear. He wanted to hear that he can still be a hero even though he didn't have the start that all the other superheroes have had, where they have a quirk or they have a power or anything like that. So he like strives to be a better superhero. Like I said, he watches all of these superheroes, he studies their moves, studies how they go about saving people, go about protecting their city. And he happens upon All Might one day, like while he's walking home, he gets attacked by a villain and All Might saves him. And he like grabs on All Might's leg while All Might like jumps away. And it turns out that All Might is actually like, he can only use his power for about 3 hours a day because during one of his fights, he got fucked up really bad and like he doesn't have a stomach and a lot of his internal organs are damaged, so he can really only use his power for about 3 hours out of the day. And after this, even after Izuku found out how flawed All Might is, even though because he loved him so much, he still wanted to be like him. He still admired him so much because All Might went through all that shit and is so messed up on the inside, but he still puts on a smile and he still protects the people in the town, like the people that he loved, out because he's fearful, but he portrays himself to be fearless, so that way it can kind of push him to do better, which is like freaking amazing. So after that, like after Izuku asked him if he could still be a hero and All Might told him, at first he told him no and all that kind of stuff, then like the sludge monster got out and Izuku actually like ended up at the spot where the monster was. And it turns out the evil blonde-headed guy, I'm gonna just call him Kachan because I do not remember what his name was, but that's what Izuku always calls him, was caught by the same sludge monster that he was caught by earlier that All Might saved him from, but the monster got away. So no one, like literally no one was, well, there were heroes that were helping him, but they really couldn't do anything. So Izuku decided, like, without even thinking about it, he ran out to save dude, even though this boy has been the bane of his existence since he was about 4 years old. And he tried to save him, but really couldn't. And when All Might saw him do this, he pushed himself to, like, use his power just a little bit longer to save him again. And dude, like, All Might punched the shit out of that sludge monster. Like, he literally caused the weather to change. Like, he made it rain because he punched the sludge monster so hard that it changed the atmosphere. It was freaking amazing. Like, I was caught off guard a little bit by that. But after that, All Might told Izuku that he could become a hero because one thing that all of the heroes have in common that are like amazing heroes is that not just necessarily that they were strong or had really awesome quirk, but they all moved to action without thinking about it. Like, they all realized that they were doing something to help before the thought even came across their mind to help. Like, they did it out of instinct, and Izuku did that that day. Even though he wasn't really able to do anything, he was the only person that actually moved forward to try to help this boy. Even though this boy has treated him like shit his whole life, he actually moved forward to help him without even thinking about it, which is freaking amazing. So All Might took him under his wing and was teaching him, made this intense training course for like 10 months. He told him that he was going to pass his power on to him, which is called All for One. And Izuku went through this whole training course, like over 10 months. He trained his hardest. Like he had to move all of the trash off of a beach to prove to All Might that he would be able to take on All Might's power, because his body has to be ready. If it wasn't ready, like literally his limbs would tear off and he'd pretty much just implode from the inside. But like literally the day of his exam, he moved everything. Like everything was on off the beach. The beach looked freaking beautiful. Like I was surprised at how glorious the beach looked afterwards. But it kind of sucked because he had to eat All Might's hair, which I don't personally know how I feel about that, but I mean, it gave him the power. So after he like went to take the exam or whatever, he met this really like cute girl. She's awesome, and she's actually helped him from busting his face on the pavement. But they went through the whole like exam process, like talking about what they needed to do, blah blah blah. They got to the field where they did the exam, and Izuku was the only person who didn't get any points. Like everybody was getting like 40, 50, 60, 70 points fighting all these all the monsters that had like the actual points. But at the beginning, like before they even got to the grounds, I think his name was Mighty Voice or something like that. The announcer that was talking to them pretty much told them that there's going to be one monster that's just going to go berserk and they should try to avoid him at all costs. And everyone, like when the monster came out, Izuku was the only one that didn't like run away full speed. He tried to, but then he realized that the chick was caught underneath like some rubble from one of the machines that they fought earlier. And he was the only one who acted to save her. And he, like, All Might's power came out and he punched the shit out of that robot. Like, it was ridiculous how fucking high he jumped, because that thing was huge. But he punched the shit out of it and saved her, but he broke his right arm and both his legs. So his body still isn't fully ready for all of the power that All Might gave him, but we know now that he has some power, which is really freaking awesome. So like he saved the girl or whatever, and she smacked him out of the air because he was about to die if he didn't time his punch perfectly. But I'm still mad that All Might told him the way to unleash his power is to clench his butt cheeks and say smash. Like, I really was not expecting that in the slightest, but I guess it's okay though. So after all of that, there was this guy that was just janking on Izuku for no reason. And he realized that Izuku was actually probably the only one who did what they were supposed to do in this area, which was take out the monster and actually do heroic things and save somebody. So after that, like he got home or whatever, he was still like training or whatever. He was doing the little hand crunches and lifting weights, thinking about like, I got literally no points. He got no points and he barely passed the written exam. So he felt like there was no possible way that he was going to make it in the UA. So, like, later on that day, his mom, like, she looked like she was about to leave, but she ran back in the house and gave him the letter. He got the letter from UA, whether he didn't know whether or not he was going to make it or he was going to be rejected. And he, like, tore it open and this little hologram thing fell out. And it turns out, like, while he was doing his, while they were doing the exam or whatever, All Might was actually one of the people on the panel that was watching them like do the exam, and he like popped up on the screen or whatever, or popped up in the hologram and pretty much told him that the girl that he saved tried to go to the council and tell them that she wanted to give him some of her points because he had saved her and he had done something that nobody else was willing to do. Everybody was running away from that thing full speed. And they told her that like she couldn't give him his points, but he didn't need them because he was the only person who actually saved somebody. So Izuku got into UA, which is really freaking awesome. Like, I was so happy. Like, I was actually clapping when I was watching that part. So I was like, yes, he actually got into UA. So yay, Izuku got into UA, and now I think they're gonna train him to use his powers, and it's like from him narrating, it sounds like he is going to be more powerful than All Might, which I believe would be true considering that All Might he looks like he's on his deathbed. Every time he talks, he has blood like coming out of his mouth. So I think that by the end of this show, All Might might actually be like dead or whatever. But I mean, Izuku looks like he's gonna be pretty freaking OP, and I can't wait to see what happens in this show. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It feels so weird talking to you guys. I haven't talked to you guys in so long. But I want to say thank you guys for everyone who has decided to stay subscribed to my channel, even though I really haven't done anything over the past few months. And I want to say welcome to the few people, because I know there are I got some more subscribers while I haven't been making any videos, which is actually really freaking awesome. So I want to say hello to you guys who are new to my channel, and thank you to you guys who have been with me from the beginning. So yeah. So as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me a whole lot. And also, let me know what shows you think I should review or any animes that you think I should read. Comment them down below so I know it's real. So yeah, so as always, this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.